Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Agoraphobia, where we are trying to not leave the house. That's basically the entire purpose of what we are doing. I'm gonna go ahead and load ourselves back up. Very excited today. We're gonna I think probably bust out the real computers. And of course, yeah, there is some sort of error, no supported power providing mod, because all of the other mods that do sort of power-based stuff seem to have a whole bunch of additional baggers associated with them. Didn't want to install that, and yeah, there's a weird load error, but it's fine. Everything is fine. Nothing is ruined. So, Vinny has found water, which is fantastic news. Vinny has gone ahead and brought us back some water, which is very, very exciting. And in fact, Vinny could theoretically just bring us infinite water, because we managed to program him to go find to get over, and we managed to get a renewable block, which is fantastic news. So, if we are going to do anything about that, though, if we're gonna use this, I put that in a bad place. Come to think of it, let's knock that out of the way. We'll put our small little pond of renewable water over here. So I'll go ahead and pick this up, put that over there. So this means now I can take stuff out of the center thing and it will fill itself back up. I'm glad to know that that's the case, because it was the case back when I played Minecraft years ago, and it is still the case now, which is fantastic. So now we theoretically have infinite water, which is maybe not the best thing to be thrown around all over the place. But anyway, good job, Vinny. Fantastic. Have a Scooby snack. Now, some of the additional stuff that we want to work on. One thing that I would like to do is, you know, despite being agoraphobic, don't go outside. Very much avoid any outsideness. One of the things that has struck me, sorry, I got distracted there for a minute. Ugh, what's going on? One of the things that has been frustrating is that it's very hard to see exactly what's going on. I would actually like to expand this house a little bit. Now, of course, that is not even a little bit possible without trees. Like, at some point, we are going to need trees. We're going to need renewable resources. And yeah, the trees are all very far away. I'm nervous about that. I would like us to, ooh, look, monsters. Cool. I would like for us to have some way of getting of starting a little bit of a tree farm. Not much of a tree farm, but I'd like you to plant some saplings, is all. And to do that, we could write this in game, because we basically did this before. Some of you pointed out have pointed out in the last few episodes that we're not doing really any checking to figure out whether or not we are whether or not we have successfully moved and these sorts of things. So it is possible for the robot to get trapped, because obviously if I stand in front of the robot and if I open up Lua and I say robot.forward, runs the command but can't move forward because I am there. In fact, if we say, I think it's equal.forward. Yeah, it gives us back a result and says nil because there's an entity there. Whereas if I move out of the way and throw a block at it for some reason, if I move out of the way and say robot forward, what do we get? Oh, yeah, we got back true. So hooray. If I put a block down, then I think we get a different error message. Yeah, nil because there's a solid there. I'm not solid, apparently. That's depressing. All right, so robot.back. Wonderful. Now, so we do want to do some checking, and I think we probably want to do just like a little bit of a better job of, because if we look at the script that we wrote in the last video, let's see here, edit water.lua is what we wrote. We see here that we have a lot of really copy-pasty type of stuff, and that's kind of frustrating. It's also kind of hard to read because there's not syntax highlighting, because you don't have color monitors on robots and all that sort of stuff. We have this, and we basically tried to just reverse a whole thing. It'd be really cool to instead say, like, you know, like, go forward 4 or forward 3, left, forward 5, up 2, and then have it like track that, and then be like back or something, or even just say, like, here's the path is that, and then be like go, would be a string, right? It'd have to be a string, and then go path, and then we would later then just say go, you know, path.reverse or something, you know, whatever the version of reversing a string is in Lua. I don't know if that's correct. We'll figure it out. But I would like to build something like that. Doing that, though, it's going to require a fair bit of Lua, and our whole system of, like, all right, we're using this editor that doesn't really let us know if we do anything wrong. We just have to sort of run it and hope that we don't screw up. And then we've been doing that, and then just, you know, saving and closing, and then opening up a Lua console and been like, hey, robot.use, is that the syntax? Or is it use, you know, whatever. Actually, I am curious as well, because if we're going to start picking up saplings, saplings you will need to actually pick up on the ground. So what if I, oh, no. That's not what I meant to do. I want to actually throw something down and see what the robot API is for, like, hey, get that. Oh shoot, what is the key for that? I forget. Yeah, it's Q. Use? No. Robot dot. Compare down, compare fluid. Lots of things that a robot can do. Robot can detect things. Drain. I think it's robot.suck. Oh, there. Yep, perfect. Okay. So basically, we want the robot to go out there. We want Vinny to go out there and, like, chop down a tree and then just walk around the base of it for a bit. And, you know, try and suck up some saplings, hopefully. But thanks to the power of video editing, I think it is time for us to say goodbye to this iffy screen of whatever. It's possible that there are SSH clients or random things that we could play around with and try and work this out. But instead, we're just going to go ahead and hop over to a virtual machine of awesomeness. And of course, I've got to hop over with you. Here is my virtual machine of awesomeness. Hello. It's just a standard Linux virtual machine running on top of my Windows environment, and we're probably going to be spending most of our time in here. I'm going to make the text a little bit larger so that it is more visible, and there we go. Okay, so I've got various things. I've been doing lots of various stuff in here. Generally, this is where I write my KS programming stuff. I'm doing some streaming stuff. We are going to get this thing set up to run to edit our Minecraft stuff. So I've already created a shared mount, and this goes into the app data Minecraft folder. So I've got this here, and we can take a look. You can see I've actually, yeah, there are two different release, Lua 52 and Lua 50, I don't know what I did. There are two DLLs here. I don't know. It was a while ago. But this is your standard Minecraft folder. What we do have is we have saves, which is good, and there's Agoraphobia. So let's go into Agoraphobia, and there's a folder, OpenComputer. So I'm going to go ahead and go in there. And here, now we get all sorts of confused. These are very long hashes, and these actually, I believe, they correspond to the hard drive name, which is fancy by default. Actually, let's jump back into Minecraft and see if that's something that we can... What's going on in Minecraft? Oh, God. Okay. Oh, okay. Something with... Yes, it's just on fire. Whew, okay. Anyway, let's see. Is there a way we can change the hard drive name? Rename? No, that's okay. That's an alias to move a file. Let's look. Let's boot. Base, edit, etc. Is there like a host name? We give the host name is Vinny. Good. Okay, yeah. I don't know that there's any way for us to rename the... Actually, hang on a second. Wasn't it mount or something? Yeah, okay. So here is what is mounted. Our root is CA11CAFF. It says that drive is mounted on here. So I believe it's got some, like, it actually gives these things fancy addresses. So it has OpenOS is installed and is mounted to the / directory. We're in /home right now. It's got some stuff that is mounted to, that's like on boot, because it's got a boot floppy, I think. I don't know entirely. But anyway, CA11CAFF, and if we jump back over into my VM, you'll see that, hey, look, it just so happens that there is a folder that matches that description. So let's go ahead and jump into there. And now if we take a look, we see something that looks like, if you're familiar with Linux stuff, this looks like a / directory on a Linux machine. If we go into /home, not /home, but home from here, well, look at that. Now we've got all the fancy fun stuffs. And if we open this up in Vim, now we get lovely syntax. Oh, something is up with my keyboard. There we go. We get wonderful, little bit of syntax highlighting. Maybe we should pick a different color for this. Let's see. Let's find a better color scheme. Color scheme. Shoot, I don't know. Something. Monokai. There we go. That's fancy. Yeah, we may need to. We may want to set up separate syntax keywords for like libraries or I don't know, something. There's got to be a better thing here. What am I thinking of? Man, oh, tomorrow is good. No, that's too bright. Tomorrow night. Oh, okay, fine. We'll just go back to my standard. Whoops, no, color scheme. What? We'll go back to my standard color scheme. Anyway, I like green comments. That's a big thing for me. Okay, but yeah, we now have access to all of this. So I'm going to go ahead. Let's just test out whether or not we can edit stuff in here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a file. And of course, this is a very long directory. We'll probably just create a symlink so that we can edit this more easily. But I'm going to go ahead and create just a, hello. Wow. Hello.lua. We're going to go in here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat and look at, what did we do before? I don't remember. I don't even know what the hello command is. It's print. Okay, it's print. Yes. Haha. Good. Just wanted to make sure. Print hello. All right. So there we go. We saved that. And now if we jump over to Minecraft World, where the base skeleton is still hanging out. He's got no body to play with. Ha! We'll go ahead and list. And look at that. Hello is in there. So we can run, we can run hello, and it prints out hello. So that's pretty cool. Now, one thing that is worth noting is that you can't do this by default. By default, the game will kind of buffer all of the file system changes until the game is saved. It's to improve performance and make sure things never get out of sync, but that's not what we want to do because we want to be messing around back and forth. I actually had to edit a particular setting, and just in case you are playing with this mod as well, you'll want to take a look at, let me just back out to the Minecraft app data. And this, by the way, if you're on Windows, this would be if you go into app data /Minecraft or whatever the kind of the default is. We'll go ahead and just open this up in tree form. I'm going to go into config, OpenComputers, and then settings.conf. And lots of config-y stuff. Beep sample rate, hologram, fade start. There's a lot of stuff that we're just not able to use yet because we don't have the equipment for. But buffer, shoot, it was buffer something. Buffer changes. This is the option that you want to change. Under file system, there's a system, buffer file system. You see whether persistent file systems such as disk drives should be buffered and only written to disk when the world is saved. This applies to all hard drives. The advantage is that the data will never go out of sync with the computer state if the game crashes. Price is slightly higher memory consumption since all loaded files have to be kept in memory. So if you go ahead and turn this off, that means that anytime that you edit a file or look at the file system from the disk, from inside the game, then it's going to match what is in that save folder. So there you go. That's what you can do to go ahead and get that set up. Alrighty, so let's create ourselves. Yeah, I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to go ahead and let's create project. And I have way too many projects in here. What are we calling this? Agoraphobia. And I know I'm sort of breaking out. I can't remember how to spell agoraphobia. Bear with me. I've only been typing it in the descriptions and titles of these videos for the last 2 months. It's an A. Okay. Make Agoraphobia. Actually, no, don't even make Agoraphobia. We are going to create an alias. So I'm going to create a soft link to that MNT Minecraft config. No, not config. Saves. Agoraphobia. OpenComputer, CA11, home. Yes, we'll create a directory to that. No, we'll do that. We'll just the home directory is where we're going to put everything. So I'm going to create a symlink. I'm going to say, basically make a shortcut from this directory to, a directory in here, Agoraphobia. Yes. All right. And so now, and see, it's even highlighted a little bit differently. If I go into Agoraphobia, now there we go. Now I have a much easier way to get into that directory. Just projects, Agoraphobia, and I am here. So that's very good news for me. Also means I'm looking at stuff here. Like it's not going to get all sorts of confused. Granted, down here in the bottom, you can see that I'm using NerdTree, which is a system for doing this sort of file tree thing, though there is a built-in version with Vim that's gotten a lot better now that I maybe should switch over to. It does still try and print out the very long thing, but I know that's fine. We're okay with that. Okay. Anyway, now, yeah, okay, so we've got hello. And now the other thing that is really nice about this is that we can actually ignore Minecraft entirely as we begin developing some code. So Let's say, for example, that we do want to do this. I want to be able to write a command that's like go, I don't know, go forward 4. And what I want to do is I want to just verify that that will call, robot.forward 4 times. And of course that's a lot easier for me to do because I get Vim, I get all my wonderful stuff. Although I think one of you mentioned that there is a Vim emulator to use with ComputerCraft, so you could actually use that as your editor, which is interesting. And very entertaining. But because, of course, there is. Because there is a Vim emulator for everything. What did I just do? What the heck happened? All right. We're going to go ahead and I want to try something. So we've got... okay, I'm hitting weird keys. No manual entry. That's very strange. What did I... My cap... it somehow thinks that I'm caps locked. That's what's up. No, now it thinks... okay. My system is being weird. I apologize. We can actually run this locally. Now, if we were expecting robot to work and or exist, well, that's a little bit of a problem because we don't have that library available to us. But we can test the rest of this. So if I run Lua test, Lua hello.lua, I should be able to run this inline. Of course, now we get a complaint that Lua doesn't exist. So let's go ahead and install that. And I, of course, have no idea what sort of Lua we should install. Now, I did say this is going to be a very transparent series, so we're going to go ahead and look up Lua latest version. This is not a heavily prepped type of thing because there's simply not the time to. Okay, so we look here. Here's the timeline. 5.3 was released before 2015, so I guess that's what we should be getting. What is Lua 50? Who could even say? Wait, Lua 50. All right, let's just go Ubuntu Lua install. Fine, Lua 5.3. Oh, okay, maybe, yeah, all right. Versions are free for download. Aha! So we may have to install this from scratch because it's not by default. Yep, all right, so this is using C. So this is going to be fun. All right, here we go. We're going to have some fun Linuxy times, all right? Whoops, yeah, okay, well, since we've got this directory, sure, why not install it from there? No, we'll go into my regular home directory on this system, and we will move downloads lua.whatever to here. I don't know, maybe this is interesting, maybe this is very boring. I apologize if the latter, but I'm going to go tar. So this is a tar file, which is basically a zip file for nerds. We're going to go tar xf, which means tar extract f. I don't know what. Yeah, let's look at the manual. Nope, it's not manual for tar. X. What does X do? X does the extract. Oh, yeah. Yeah, -x, the -x is the extract. Let's see, what does F do, though? I don't remember what F does. It's just, it's muscle memory at this point. Force local, maybe? Archive file is local even if it has a colon. Oh, hang on, here we go. Use archive file or the device archive. Okay, right, okay, so I'm saying tar xf Lua, yeah, okay. So I'm saying extract and use this file. This is the thing that you should extract. We'll go ahead and do that, and it's done. Congratulations to us. And that means, hopefully, yes, there is a Lua folder right here. Hooray for us. All right, let's go in. And there is a make file. Now, normally, I know what that means, but I'm just going to be extra safe here. This is, yes, they're using curl, which is another command line tool, which will just grab a thing from the internet, rather than use Chrome to download it. They tar zxf, which I believe is just more verbose. Make Linux test is what it tells us that it wants us to do. So sure, we'll go ahead and do that. Because sometimes a make file is a very fun thing. It has got a whole bunch of configuration-y details for installing stuff. A lot of times when you were installing from tarballs, back in the day, before there were package managers where they're just like, oh, here's how you do all the things, you would end up with a make file, but then you would end up with a config file that would adjust the make file. It would go in and write the thing that actually installs stuff for you. Of course, I've meanwhile forgotten what we're supposed to do. Make Linux test. Downloads are good. All right, sure. And now it's doing all of this wonderful compiler-y stuff. And wow, that was very, very fast. That is very good news, because usually this is the sort of thing that would take a very, very long time. Let's see. Make install. Sudo make install. I have to give it my password. I have to say, yeah, I'm allowed to do this as the admin user. And now if I type Lua, look at that. Now I have Lua, and I can say print hello. Okay, I can type it correctly. Print hello. and then says hello. Wonderful. But of course, if I say like robot.swing, nah, it's not going to know. It's not going to have any idea what we're talking about. So there we go. Now we have Lua installed. That's fantastic news. Let's jump back into Agoraphobia. And now we have the ability to run hello.lua like that. So we can start working on these files, and we can put in, for example, placeholders. So if we wanted to test out something like, we say, Lua, how do you do a function? Let's look. Let's look at the tutorial-y type of stuffs, right? Lua, define function. I'm not sure if we've actually done that before. I think we have, but I'm feeling stupid. If we're defining, yeah, there we go. Function. So function go and path. I guess so I'm just copying the syntax here. And look, a lovely Vim will go ahead and autocomplete the end there. I'll go ahead and say, yeah, whatever. We'll say print. Let's see. How do we? Now I need to know how to split a string. So we have this function, and we go function was called. All right, so we've got that. And now I can test that I can say go like this. And now, because I'm in Vim, I can also use a exclamation point down here in the bottom and just run this in line. So I can say Lua, and you can say % to say, go ahead and run this command, and this is effectively the same thing as backing out to the shell and running Lua with the current file name as the argument. And there we go. Function was called is what gets printed out. So that's pretty darn good news. At least according to me. Of course, we will want to figure out how to split a string. Or, let's see, we can split even more. And I'm just waiting for second terminal to come up here. Come on. Come on. Oh, whoops, I haven't, yeah, there we go. I forgot to make a terminal. We'll make this big as well. We can just have Lua always open so that we can test this stuff as we're going. So if I want to have this string, so I guess, str equals ABCD, can I do, let's see, equal string. Yes, okay, it is there. I'll say str.split. Attempt to call no value split. Do I get autocomplete? Oh, I do not get autocomplete. Oh, that's very, very depressing. Maybe I'll have to take a look and see if there's a different way. Let's see. Lua string split. So much for easy stuff. Splitting strings. Gmatch. Aha. Let's see. Splitting strings. Split function separates into output an example string. Okay, that is going to split on that. Split. Should split return list. Oh my goodness. This is some tutorial-y stuff. All right, so they're doing some pattern matching stuff. That's fancy. All right, there we go. String recipes. String starts, string ends. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, we'll get back to that at some point. I do want to see real quick. If I kill Lua C. What is Lua C? Okay, I have no idea what that is. I want to see if there's a way for me to get like a slightly nicer environment to play around in. Something that has, for example, the nice text complete, because that'd be rather convenient. Although actually thinking about it, that may not be the case in if we jump back to the Minecraft world. Actually, if I start Lua and I say r equals robot, I can say robot dot whatever and it completes that. But if I say, whoops, dang it, r equals robot. But if I say r dot something, no, it still completes it. So there's a better Lua. What this is called is a REPL, or a read, evaluate, print loop, which means that you type in one thing and then it goes, cool, I'm going to run that code. As opposed to an editor where generally you're typing a bunch of code and then you're going, hey, now it's okay for you to run this. A REPL is nice because it's easy for you to just go ahead and play around with stuff. So if I want to know, hey, is this how I do a list of things? Nope, that's totally not how I do a list of things, apparently. I don't know how I do a list of things, actually. Maybe like that. Nope, no idea. Now I'm just messing around. Well, anyway, the good news is that we have ourselves an environment that is set up that will help us write additional code. And what I would like to, yeah, we'll close that up. What I'm going to do here, just for now, is I'm going to pseudocode out what we want to do. And what I want to try and verify, I'm going to have to look and see if Lua has any sort of testing framework that'll make this sort of easy. What we'd like to do is, kind of write some sort of test, that, Go follows a path, calls, robot args or method, robot functions. And the body of that would look something like, of course, I don't know exactly how this is supposed to look. And then what we would do is we'd say like go, and then we would say, assert robot.forward was called, and then assert robot.forward was called, or something like that. So if we had, go F4, then we would assert that those were called. Like we'd want to write some sort of test like this, where we want to say, I don't actually want you to call robot.forward. We might even have something inside of our test that's like robot.forward is a fake function. In fact, we probably should do exactly that. Come to think of it, yeah, we will do exactly that. We're gonna do this right. So we would have to figure out. Of course, that does mean we also have to figure out exactly how modules work. It's a whole other thing. But so this is like an example of what our test should look like. I have no idea about the syntax though, so we'll have to look that up. We're going to go ahead and say that basically Go is going to have to do split the path into tokens. And what by what I mean by that is if we have F4 L F B U, right? So this might be a legitimate string that we say this is an acceptable path. It should split it up into some sort of list of, forward 4, left, forward, back, and up. We need to have a way of automatically doing that because those are the things that we would theoretically be able to process. And then we would say, for each token, do the thing n number of times 1 by default. So for F4, it's gonna do the F command 4 times, but for all the other ones, it's just gonna do it 1 time, or 2, whatever the case may be with that particular string. So that I think is the plan. We are running along on time, but I wanted to make sure that I kind of went through how we're doing the setup here, which of course, and yeah, I mean, it's going to take some time for us to get this completely set up. But I think once we start, especially because we can evaluate these things sort of in real time, we're going to be spending some, oh God, what's happening over there? What's happening over in KSP World? Or not KSP World, what's wrong with me? What's happening in Minecraft World? We're getting murdered? We've got water to protect us. I shall attack you with water. Anyway, I think now that Vinny is plugged into the matrix, so to speak, I think we'll be able to iterate a lot faster, and we'll be able to kind of really start to pick up kind of how Lua works. Because, it's a language that I'm not super familiar with, but you know what? That's fine. We are learning, and we will figure things out as we go along. The idea, though, would be that we can write kind of our own wrapper libraries that call robot.whatever, but we can write tests for them that don't require us to be in Minecraft. That we can say, here's a fake robot implementation that we'll use just to verify that you called the right things, but beyond that, everything is just fine. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and take a nap. Oh, I can't take a nap because it's too bright out. And yeah, of course, we will have to worry about getting food and doing some harvesting. Of course, that is going to take a little bit of work, I think, because there is some logic there. It's one of the important distinctions here as well, is that there's the what is it that we want to do and how do we do it, and those things generally should be separated. The fact that robot, the logic that's like robot.forward, that is more of a how thing. Robot, we'll probably have higher and more abstract libraries that are, robot.farm, or probably not robot.whatever, but things that describe a series of steps, a series of just an algorithm for like, hey, here's how you make me food. Because I know that's what you're eager to do, Vinny. Anyway, I will see you next time. So I hope to see you then. Cheers.